Huh?
I gotta.
Oh yeah, go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep talking.
Too, still.
Very good. Yeah. I'm sweating. Yeah. I'm. Oh yeah, we're gonna get your Riz game on. We're doing a blind dating. There's 9 chicks pulling up right now. It wasn't about your music, Jeff. It was actually like a blind dating episode. You're gonna have like a bunch of chicks come down. You like interview them. 2 minutes with each.
Oh,
Little shawty looking better with no makeup. She brighten up my days when she wake up. I know the mother got the same stuff, but I'ma keep it real, there ain't no fake love till our day come. Little baby wants.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. New episode of the NSL podcast. Thank you for being here with me. I got the whole family here with me today, so huge throwback for me personally. My boy from high school here in Neruda. We got Jeffrey in the building, who's a friend of ours as well. I met Jeffrey through Neruda and the whole squad. Shout out to behind the scenes. Miguel's one of my best friends from high school. We got Jay. You guys will see them later. We got D as well. So I got the whole family. None of the NSL boys today because we have so many people, but I'm excited. This is kind of a special edition actually of this show just because usually it's all educational focused. Today it's more of like album release type vibe. We're going to get to know these guys a bit more on a personal level as well as their music. We're also going to talk, marketing, business, all the good stuff you guys always ask for. So that'll be involved as well, but it'll highly focus on these guys for today. It's funny that we're here, you and I, after so much time knowing each other. I always say it, not to get too deep on this. I want to let you guys introduce yourselves, but I always say that music is one of those things, probably the only thing in my opinion on this planet that could bring people together like it does. Like no matter where you're from, no matter what language you speak, literally, religion you preach, like music is just so connecting in so many ways. And so I'm glad that we have that in common, which is probably why I know Miguel was the centerpiece of like you and I's connection, but that's probably why you and I got way closer recently, like in the last 2-3 years probably. And I find that really dope. So I'm really happy to have you here. And obviously, Jeffrey, much love to you too. I don't mean to put all the attention on Ruda here, but so you guys have a surprise drop, right?
Yeah.
And by the time they see this is going to be out. Right now, it's building up to it. No one really knows it's coming out. I know it's coming out. We know it's going out. I had a chance to listen to it a few times. We'll get into the project soon. First, I kind of want to introduce you guys to the people here. Most of my audience is upcoming artists, independent artists that are just trying to find ways to kind of elevate their game and their knowledge. They have a lot of talent. It's just a question of learning like the business side of music. And so they love it. They find it inspirational to learn from other artists, and their journey, their story, their inspirations and all that. So what would be cool, Neruda and Jeffrey, if you could just take a quick second, introduce yourselves, and also maybe just give us like what your music to you represents and why you even got into this game.
What's up? I'm Neruda. I got into the game. I don't even know. I just always music was in my life, always, So I don't really feel like I got into music. I always felt like it was a part of me since the start. Like, my dad was a musician, so it's like since the early days I started playing guitar. Then when I went to high school, I was playing saxophone. And shit.
In the music program.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was rapping, you know what I'm saying? But like rapping came like it was the last thing that came. Like I was doing all this music before and shit. And I don't know, I just always loved it. It was always like natural in a sense. So after I was sucked at rapping at first, you know what I'm saying?
When would be first? I'm trying to contextualize because I remember you sending me like you would email. I don't know if you remember this. You would email me like some of your tracks in like Sec 4.
Yeah.
So this was before, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I started like writing at 14 and shit.
Oh, wow, okay.
I started recording.
So that was not long, but that wasn't bad, bro.
I mean,
what you were sending me wasn't
my
bad.
standards, you already know it's like the curse of the artist in the sense where
yeah.
you always feel like, you came such a long way, so now you're doing better stuff.
But as a 14-year-old, though.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I feel like you heard me more when I was like around 17 and stuff. Around
that
maybe.
Time,
16, 17.
Yeah.
I started recording myself at 15, 16, but it wasn't crazy. And then I started going to the studio, like, shout out my boy Achtem, bro. He used to be called Border. And now he's in Japan and shit. He's doing his shit. and he used to tell me, "Oh, come to the studio, like you're nice, you know." And Clyde brought me to the studio, still, and that's why I started like taking it more seriously, you know, trying to get better, work on my pronunciation, work on my flows, work on everything, you know. I wanted to get nice since that moment, you know.
Yeah,
So yeah.
that's dope. Jeff, what about you?
My name is Jeffrey. I started rapping a long time ago, but a long time ago. I mean, my family was always involved in music. My big brother's actually a producer. He always had like his friends, whatever, cousins coming home, making beats, having shows. I wouldn't be able to go to shows. I was too young for that. But yeah, always been involved in music. Started high school. I loved music, but I didn't start rapping. My friends were freestyling in the backyards and shit like that. I wasn't freestyling for shit. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to think about. Then after that, there was a community center next to my crib. They started a Fruity Loop session, and actually, the guy that was giving the session dipped on us, but he kept they kept actually the program in the computers, so I was the only one going there just to learn, you know, the mechanism of making music and you know learning how to, and they felt like oh shit, Jeffrey's really into that, so let's build a like bootleg studio. The studio was super bootleg. I was around like 15, 16 around that time. And around that time during dinner, I would like skip school, go to the community center, make my beats, drop them on SoundCloud. They were super trash, to be honest, but I felt like I was like going through something that I felt like I
Like you
was
had
going to.
potential.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I'm doing this, and people were like, "Oh shit, you're 15 and you're doing this. Oh shit,
Hmm.
that's fire." Then after that, started rapping. I had like I was 20. First shows were in the US. I started to feel like okay, I could really do this for you know a living or for fun. But I love music, and I really appreciate everything that comes with it. You know, friends, connections,
Yeah.
the marketing part. You know, everything that comes with creating something. And yeah, that's about it. And then we here.
Yeah, that's amazing. So thank you guys for being here. But yeah, to your point, I think the thing that's the coolest about the whole music thing is meeting other people in that space. Like even actually, you're a great example, Jeffrey. I would have never known you if it wasn't for the music thing. These guys I know from high school. Well, Jay
Yeah.
either, actually D either. So only these two. But I find it so dope. Like so many people that I've met in this just a few years of doing this, and like it's also cool to have connections with like other creators. You know, because it's a bit not to say that we're different, but it's like especially in music, you kind of relate to it more
Hmm.
when you're like working towards something, creating something. Even people like entrepreneurs starting a business, I feel like I could relate to them more because it's from the ground, like you're really building something from ground zero.
Yeah.
And so that's what I find beautiful about like just meeting people in the space. So I guess we should get into let's talk a bit about the project you guys have coming up. So I don't even know the name of the project. I just have the files, but I don't know the name of it. So tell me the name first of all, and then maybe both of you could tell me what it means to you guys, what it represents. Just a bit of backstory for those who heard it by now and that kind of want more, more on the inspirational side behind what this project represents to you guys.
You want to start? Uh,
Well, I mean,
Stay close to that, eh?
the um, the project is called Friends and Foes,
Okay.
and it
Which
also
one of the tracks is named Friends and Foes?
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
exactly.
Mm.
His last track and stuff. It's both of us on that because we kind of try to mix it up, have like some solo shit from me, some solo shit from him, and then
Yep.
a couple of songs that were together, right? Um, the project honestly is born from like another project that we did before, and it never got to come out. And so this project kind of came from that, and we're like, that's kind of the energy that we put into it. Like, it ain't nothing gonna stop us. We're gonna drop a project. Like, it's not gonna stop shit. Like we do this shit for the love of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
this is a passion. So it's like the other shit, the extra shit that's out of control, like out of your control, like it's whatever. But you have to keep pushing. You know, you have to keep creating. You know,
Yeah.
so
Keep moving. Yeah.
the album kind of comes from that. And friends and foes. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's your friend and who's your foe in this game or in life. You know what I'm saying? It's different. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's why I say in one of the tracks. I study both. There's really no difference to me. Like I study
I
friends
was
and
gonna bring
foes.
that
Like
lineup.
so, it's like that's where the project comes from, and I feel like the energy is raw.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I like.
It feels actually, I guess raw is a good word for it. When I was listening to it, it felt like, and not in a negative way that I'm saying this, but it felt like unfiltered, or just like it just felt like the energy of like, yo, I'm just doing this and like I'm not overthinking it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
Like
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like a one take, like I'm just doing this and like
It's effortless.
yeah,
yeah,
exactly, but not in a lazy way though.
Yeah.
Just like in like a, I don't want to overwork this. This is what's on my mind. I'm putting it out. That's how I felt listening to it.
exactly. Yeah. And for my part, actually, I always wanted to do music with Kermis, actually, Neruda. And I don't know. I felt like he completes my flow, or I completes his flow. And with what he said, we had a project coming up. It didn't came out. Unfortunately, we still had a show for whatever we wanted to represent around our music. But that album for me is more like a I'm still able to do music where with whatever happens, right?
Yeah.
And any situations I'm able to create, and that's why producing on that album means a lot for me. Producing for me, Kermis, and making everybody work on that is actually one of the essential thing that I actually love about this project, because um, some people would say, "Oh, well, Jeffrey this, Jeffrey that, bossy things," but I feel like that album is the family working together. This album is us moving together. This album means a lot to our group being one.
Yeah.
And yeah, friends and foes. We're friends. Sometimes we end up meeting foes. But yeah.
Yeah, it's part of life. But so okay, that you kind of answered one of my questions. You produced this whole album?
Yeah, no, not this whole album. There's actually four producers on the
Okay.
album. So I produced two songs, and one of my friend crew produced the songs with me.
Okay.
One of my friends that I went to music school with, KM. Shout out to KM.
Shout out
He
to
mixed
y'all.
the songs as well. Some of the songs he mastered, some of the songs as well. All of them or some of them. Uh, but yeah, yeah. So the producers on that album were pretty tight.
Yeah.
Canuck, shout out to him.
Shout out my nigga.
I didn't know him before Kermis brought him up on that project. Um, After that, yeah, me, KM, Canuck.
There's one track on that tape that has such a fire beat. You're both on it. I know there's two tracks that you're both on it. I can't remember the name right now. Name me the tracks you guys are on together. It's not Friends and Foes. It's the other one.
Viral.
Yeah, viral.
That beat, bro, is actually
Yeah, that
crazy.
beat is fire.
It's got
remember doing
so
it.
much. Okay,
Yeah,
so
he
you
did
made
it
that
with
beat?
Yeah, I
KM,
made that beat, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I noted down that was my favorite instrumental. The energy on that track's crazy.
Yeah. I was making that song, and I felt like that song could fit Kermis on that. So I was like, yo,
Yeah, he
these
came
are
in
both-
like I came
hard.
through. There was like an Airbnb spot, and he was playing beats.
Yeah.
He's playing beats that he's like, oh, maybe he's gonna like this. But when I heard that beat, I'm like, bro, you can just stop playing. Like we need to record on that.
Yeah,
shit.
yo, for
Yeah,
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna get Cam to finish the songs,
Yeah.
because Cam is good to add everything to like put sugar on everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, okay, so let's work on that thing, wreck on that thing, and then I'm gonna go to Cam's and
And he'll
we're gonna
perfect the
finish
details. Yeah, that's
with
amazing.
everything.
It's actually very important to have someone like that who could put those little touches on.
Yeah.
It's
he's
what
the
takes
guy.
a song from like here to there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Little details.
One thing I want to talk about that you guys brought up, it's part of the game, like running into unforeseen circumstances, things that are out of your control. It's part of life. Not only as a creator that'll happen, that's just part of life, and
Yeah.
it's fine. But I think I would like to conversate about this for a bit, is, in my opinion, what differentiates those who make it, whatever definition you might have of that, being successful or happy with your work, to those who might not, is that kind of like stubbornness of not giving up in those times. There's so many, and not to say, look, I understand not everyone has the same circumstances, this and that, but realistically, like, it's easy sometimes to come up with excuses.
Exactly. Yeah.
you know, and to be like, let's say in you guys' scenario, you would have just been like, oh, you know what, didn't work out, and then play victim kind of,
Yeah.
and be like, you know what, no, I quit music, like I'm fed up of all the business side, let's say hypothetically. But it's like you could do that, but at the same time, you're the one paying the price.
Exactly.
You're the one losing at the end of the day. And I think that it's very mature, and also it just shows like the kind of resilience that I believe you need in this game, or any entrepreneur would need. It's never going to play out exactly how you want it to, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if some people live in fairy tale land there, but I mean, it's never going to be perfect. But it's just in those moments is what differentiates like who's really in it, right? Like who's really hard headed. And you're going to be like, you know what? No, like you always have to see it as a blessing. It could suck for sure. And you have to digest that kind of negative energy. But bro, you got to get back on your feet and move. And to see you guys turn around so quickly, to me, I find it amazing, and I salute you guys, because I know how it is as a creator. It's very disappointing in moments like that.
Yeah.
We always face those kind of unforeseen circumstances, and it's tough, bro. But like you guys put a great show this summer, and now that you went back in and you brought this, I think it speaks a lot to you guys. Obviously, you do this for fun, but there's a lot of integrity too
Exactly.
with
Yeah.
that action. And so I don't know if you guys want to speak just in general about maybe, because again, these guys are mostly upcoming artists that are maybe dealing with similar situations, whether it's, you know, running into unforeseen circumstances and whatever. Like maybe you guys could both again give me your opinions on what your kind of perception on it is, meaning like in that situation, how would you give advice to people to stay motivated in those situations and to really be resilient and be like, because it's not necessarily the most positive situation to be in, but you need to stay optimistic in those times. That's the most important times, right? So maybe give your advice. It could help a few people listening, like how you see it and how you get back on your feet and keep moving.
I'd say one of my best friend told me one advice is like, actually, it's not an advice. He asked me a question a couple years ago, and he was like, what do you do for your fans, right? And I told myself, well, what do I do for my friends? I'm here for them. I'm here to speak. I'm here to present something. It's like, yeah, for sure. So I thought about it when we were in that situation when we had to actually, so we had already booked the venue for the show. We already had the invites going on. Other people were paying the tickets to come to the show. And the show was based on that other project that we had. And unfortunately, it didn't happen. So great minds think alike. So I was like, okay, cool. So we sat down with D, Kermis and I. So we were like, okay, what are we doing? And chances on us that we had music backed up, we had plans, and we had, ideas. So the best thing for me, if I was an upcoming artist in that situation, would be to not give up on your ideas, to not give up on any situation, and not give up on who you are as an artist. Uh, Everything can go bad. Everything, engineer can make it. A mixing engineer can mix your thing on time.
Mhm.
Or we have backups. Instagram is there. You type mixing in a search bar and you see 1,000 of mixing producers or producers or whoever can
Yeah.
help you make it. So don't give up on who's around you. Um, I felt really bad at some point in that project because somehow I felt like, oh shit, I killed it for my team, my whole team. Now it's my fault or something because you know I am who I am at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, but we're a team. It's not only my brain working on this shit. So I'm like, yeah. So let's sit down and think about it. And chances for me, I have Kermis, I have a whole team, Jay, everything. So we came up to something. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I feel like in those times you have to come back to the source. You know what I'm saying? You have to ask yourself like, why you really do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because
Facts.
a lot of shit is gonna happen. A lot of shit is gonna make you mad. A lot of shit is gonna make you sad, or a lot of shit is gonna go wrong. But if you come back to the source and tell yourself like, this is what I do it for, you're gonna find a way to keep it going. Because
Yeah.
if you can't live without it, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is it worth if I quit it? You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna fucking regret this shit for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I feel like he said, if you have people around you that you can rely on, people that are strong, people that are like that can help you in those situations that are there for you, like, reach out to them, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
fucking
That's why you have them.
yeah, that's the foundation, so consolidate it, you know what I'm saying? And keep it moving because ain't no coming back, ain't no going back, you know what I'm saying? It's only forward from now on.
And I think that says a lot actually on because I also often get asked the question, how do you stay so motivated? Because like you guys know I'm crazy with like my TikTok, IG, all that stuff. But I think it comes down to, you said it perfectly, is that, and this is usually what I answer, if you do something fundamentally for yourself, you're never gonna run out of motivation.
Exactly.
Because if it brings you like actual genuine happiness,
yeah,
bro, why would you stop? Right?
exactly.
I think the people that in those moments are maybe more keen to giving up or finding excuses, it's because they might be doing it for the wrong reasons. And when I say wrong reasons, it might be for the clout or for the bag. Like, like all those shortcuts that
yeah,
fundamentally I don't find are good motivation factors in the long run. Because as soon as you see, it's like me, bro. If I stopped growing on TikTok for 2 weeks, I would give up if I was prioritizing my growth and this and that. But if I go back to it, like you said it perfectly. Ask yourself, why did I start this in the first place? Bro, if the answer is I'm doing it for myself and it genuinely makes me happy, there's never going to be a point that you're just going to burn out, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so to everyone who, I love that point, is that if you're in a situation where you feel that, then maybe you need to kind of self-reflect and be like, okay, why am I here in the first place? And start also looking around at the people around you and be like, why did I even start this? Is it for the people around me? Is it, at the end of the day, if you're doing something for yourself, I think there's no way that you'll lose. That's how I see it, at least.
I feel like it's normal. You're always sometimes it's gonna be harder. You're gonna lose motivation. You're gonna feel like you don't have motivation. But those are the moments where it's like you ask yourself those questions and you come back from that shit like stronger and you're like, I'm gonna go harder. You know what I'm saying? Because why?
Yeah.
Like, but it takes those moments to go hard. You know what I'm saying?
But see, a lot of people don't get through those moments though, right?
Mhm.
And I think that's what differentiates someone who will actually like stick around. And you kind of got to be crazy sometimes or stubborn.
yeah,
But that's how you make it. Whatever your definition of making it is, that's how you get there.
yeah. But I also feel like we love making music. We love actually hip hop. We love rap music. We love, he's a big fan of blues, jazz. I'm a big fan of, alternative, rock, things like that. We love going to shows. We love, being in the presence of music. So at the same time, us giving up on anything that is related to music would be us giving up on something we love.
Mhm.
And I feel like, yeah, it's mostly because we love doing this thing and we love, the process. We love, creating. We love sitting down. We love having a beer, having a laugh.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can get in the studio and not even record a song, just listening to music, just having a conversation. But being in that environment feels good to us, to me, to everybody around us. We came down to like working 3 on the project to 10 people, loving to doing this shit. So it's this at the end of the day. It's the result. Yeah, we love the result for sure, but we love everything that comes with it first.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. I get it. One thing I'm down to speak to too is kind of something that you brought up. Is vulnerability of artists in their music. Now, I don't mean actually like in their recordings, like what they're singing about.
yeah,
What I mean is vulnerability on the kind of production and behind the scenes part.
yeah,
And obviously we kind of spoke on it when we talked about this tape that fell through and all this, but artists that depend a lot on producers, engineers, videographers, all these things. I think that highlights the importance of like having a Oh my god,
this guy, bro.
that caught me off guard, bro. No, you're good. It's my fault. You're good.
Respect.
It was actually so impressive. It caught me off guard. But yeah, the vulnerability as an artist, depending on so many people, is a huge risk. And that's something I've noticed on my side. Pardon me. And what I see from you guys is that it's such a blessing that you do have a solid team around you.
Yeah.
You know, like Jay and BZ, like obviously they do great with camera work. D with the events is unbelievable. Not even that, but like I've seen her as well behind the scenes on like the management side of things and like handling all that. She's very structured for that. And I think that's a blessing that not many people have.
Exactly.
Not to say that you guys are lucky or anything. What I'm saying is I think a lot of artists, they fall into a trap where they end up depending on too many people that they shouldn't necessarily depend on. And that's where this vulnerability thing comes into play, right? Because let's say me, for an example, it's very different that I kind of do everything myself, almost. Like I record myself, I mix myself, this, that. The only help I need is for like, you know, videography stuff or music videos, and if I were to do events as well. But I think that comes from a place of like fear of delegating roles to other people and fear of people not meeting my expectations because I set the bar very high. And not in a way that I'm arrogant or anything, but if I just think there's a huge risk, let's say if I didn't mix myself and I was depending on someone to do it, you know, there's always that back and forth and there's wasted time. There's also delays, like you were saying. The more I kind of meet new artists in this space on TikTok and stuff, like I noticed that a lot of artists are so vulnerable. Like if one of their team players just bows out, they're kind of done. You know what I mean? And then it's like 20 steps back. And then they realize like, yo, like I can't do anything on my own. And then they kind of give up again because it's overwhelming. I get it. But the fact that you, Jeffrey, could produce, make your own beats, yes, you're getting assistance and that's amazing. But fundamentally, you understand the basics of it.
Yeah.
And I think, and I always say this to people that listen to me, to understand, or at least to make an effort to understand all those aspects of the game.
Yeah.
Because if you fall in a space that everyone you're depending on decides to peace out, at least you could be like, okay, I know it enough to kind of help myself out temporarily until I get to, you know, get a new team and stuff like that. And I'm wondering, you guys, is this something that you learned the hard way, or is this something you had innate? And especially Jeffrey, because you're producing, I'm curious. Obviously, you said it, so you were doing it since you're a kid for fun, which I never knew about you. That's just cool, by the way, of having you. I'm going on a tangent, but to having you on this pod, I know him much more than I know you, only because I've known him for a decade. But what's cool is that we've never really had the time. We make music if I chill, but we don't actually just conversate. So I know it's side note here, but it's pretty cool to have you here and to learn about you. So I'm enjoying it. But yeah, maybe talk about that, like the whole producing side. I'm assuming you were just a kid and having fun with it. But is this vulnerability something that you kind of, obviously you experienced it recently, but did you experience that in the past? Is that something that you're thinking about, or is it more like, oh yeah, I don't know if it makes sense, my question.
Yeah. I feel like when I started making beats, or when I started making music in general, I was that kid that would go on YouTube, you know, find a beat or whatever. And then it's fun that you're saying that. The major reason why I started making my own beats, I actually went to Music Technique. It's music for school, whatever, engineering and everything.
Shout out Jay.
And shout out Jay.
I wish we had a back behind the scenes cam
before
today.
the other guy,
So
You went to Music Technique?
Yeah, before the other. Yeah, bro.
how did you not know that?
There
He has a plaque on his wall, don't you?
no, him, yeah.
Yeah,
But
he
me,
does.
way
No,
before.
I didn't know he went to Music Technique.
Yeah, but I didn't finish though.
I knew him. I didn't know
Like the
you.
last
Yeah, that's what I'm
semester.
saying.
Oh, you didn't know either?
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the last semester, one of the teachers, really great teacher. I had a lot of shows and I had a lot of things to do with work, school, and everything. It was like, yo, it's either you're focusing on this school or you're focusing on your music career. And I was like,
Oh,
yo,
like
you know
pick
what?
one? Yeah.
I'm gonna focus on my music career. It was the last semester.
And who was saying this? One of your teachers?
Yeah, one of my teachers at the Music Technique, right? So one of the, I started making music because I wanted to, started producing, started doing this, that. And yeah, just to not get over the question, around the question, it's more like, I was searching for beats on YouTube. I actually had one song that everybody loved that was a beat from YouTube. And couple months after, Bad Bunny had bought the beat from that guy who made the beat, and that beat went
That's
viral.
crazy.
And everybody like were in my DMs like, "Yo, isn't that your beat? Isn't that your
Bad
beat?"
Bunny's
And I
on
was
your
like,
beat.
"Yeah, but it's by Bunny, and the guy sold the beat because I bought a lease. I didn't buy the beat completely. I didn't buy the unlimited whatever lease they're selling." And since that day, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna work on my shit. I'm gonna, you know, work on my craft. Work with producers that make my beats. It's my sound. I'm gonna go to school for music, like learn everything around it, the sound, everything that it comes with EQing,
Yeah, all the
compressing,
nerdy shit
whatever.
there. Yeah.
So I've learned that. So when it comes to me, depending on people, it's like Jeff doesn't depend on people. Like
There
it's
you go.
it's a no for me, but I do depend on people that could help me, you know, get on a higher level.
Yeah.
So getting a verse from Neruda is something that okay, I know it's gonna get on a higher level. Getting help from KM. Okay, yeah, that guy makes. It was in my class actually. It was in my group. So I'm like that guy. I remember that guy. Actually, was in high school, and my ex girlfriend was in his high school. So we met through that, and we didn't know. So when we were at music technique, we were like, "Oh shit, I know you." It's like, okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
we've been friends since then, and yeah, it's really depending on people is a yes on a certain level, but depend on yourself, learn. There's a lot of things to help you learn, YouTube teach me, there's a lot of apps.
Nowadays it's crazy.
Kermis has a super good here, so you
I
know
was about to say like that shit happened to me like a couple of times. Like hearing a beat, recording on it, and then I fucking hear somebody like spit on that shit. But it's a bigger artist, right? Like it's a big artist, and then you're like, damn. But at the same time, you have to be like, yo, I have good ear.
yeah,
But for motherfuckers, bro, you want to buy a beat, buy the whole thing. Don't fucking buy the lease.
don't buy a
Don't get fucking
lease,
finessed out of your fucking track. Buy the whole shit
buy the whole
and
thing,
call it a day, man.
It's just so pricey
get
though,
this,
bro.
yeah,
To get
get
those
the stems.
exclusives, bro.
But what's crazy is that most beats I've liked, and I'm like, yo, I need to buy this beat. It's like it hasn't been that expensive, but this sometimes, yeah, it is. But it depends on who you find. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I have more ease with finding cheaper beats because I like beats that are like out of normal. Like I like grimy boom bap.
Less
Yeah,
mainstream.
yeah,
You know what
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's like niggas are not gonna charge me $600 usually for that shit. It has happened. You know what I'm saying? Like by example, um, one time, fucking, I heard this Nicholas Craven beat, and I didn't know people knew Nicholas Craven like that. You know what I'm saying? But I think that 2 weeks later, it was like Ransom on the beat, and I'm like, damn, like this is crazy. I just wrote my verse. I didn't even get to record the song. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah.
like, you have to be ahead, and like if you like something, just do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
'cause somebody else is gonna do it for real before you do it, and it's gonna be like, it's too late for you.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but to answer your question, I just feel like if you want to depend on people, you can. We're not stopping you, and we're not saying don't, but it's really, really like you feel free when you don't. You feel like you have a more creative space around everything that comes with that's my music. And having the stems, just having everything that comes around your music, having the vocals, having the drums, the snares that you can change or whatever is perfect. Having Not having the stems, just mp3s, you cannot change something, you cannot mix. If you mix over something, it sounds sometimes super bad. Sometimes it's super perfect because the producer already worked on that
Yeah.
song, but sometimes they don't. They just overload everything, they boost everything, so the song sounds super loud and everything. But no, I feel like you can't depend on people. I depend on D for certain type of stuff. I depend
Mhm.
on Kermis for certain types of stuff. Jay when it comes to camera, video,
Yo,
Miguel,
I'm
and everything.
sorry, but what?
What is he doing? That guy, bro.
Yo, it's been a challenge for me staying serious.
Yo.
These guys are too funny, bro.
Fucking
Pulls
idiot.
out the golf club, he's ripping it into his
It
hand.
feels like he hasn't fucking grown up since like.
That's
Yeah,
what,
it's
that's
a-
why we love him, though. I'm sorry, bro. I lost
that's
it
the
there.
team. That's the
Since he's
team. You know, we're
15.
having fun.
Yeah.
We're here at your house. You know, chilling.
Yeah, we're just
having
kicking
a
it. Yeah,
podcast.
it's amazing.
That's perfect.
Nah,
That's the vibe.
it's a blessing, seriously.
You know, so imagine us on the road. Imagine us, working on events. Yes, sometimes we get on their nerves, because we love doing that, but we're taking it serious at a point. But we love each other. We love working with each other, and we love everything that comes with working with each other. So yeah.
That was a great answer, and it segues nice into my next topic of two things. So the first thing being working like as an artist, right? Like working solo versus a duo on this project and on other music, whatever. You guys took this project as a duo. Obviously, you have some solo tracks on there as well. But first of all, would be speaking about that a bit. The change of like creative dynamic when you're working with someone is very different.
Yeah.
But there's a loss of creative control that comes into play too, right? And I know artists sometimes tend to be stubborn, or they have a certain vision, and it's tough to find that middle ground, right? I've never done like a full-on project with another artist, so I can't even speak of experience. Only like features, collabs, whatever.
Mhm.
I guess my first thing would be maybe explaining, because obviously, as you said, sometimes you bump heads, but it's all love at the end of the day. You guys are friends outside of the whole music thing, but they always say like don't mix friends and business.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, this whole music thing is for fun, fundamentally. But at one point, it becomes bigger than that, and there is a business aspect, whether you like it or not, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So how do you guys? This is another question I get a lot from them: is how do you separate the friendship and the love you guys have for each other from the music and the business side of it? Is these, because obviously there are some things behind the scenes that go on. It's not always, laughs and smiles like it is now. Like it's not always like that when the business side comes into play.
Exactly.
So maybe advice you could speak on that. Obviously, I assume you've run into that a few times.
Yeah.
So maybe you could speak on that a bit, your experience and tips maybe that help dealing with that.
I'd say take a step back, listen to people around you. I have the chance to me and Kermis, we love the same type of music. We know what we want on our music. If he doesn't like something, I'm not gonna get upset because actually know what he likes, and he knows what I like, and we know the type of beats that we want to be on, and that's how that project was not easy to make, but let's say the first two tracks is more Kermis, it's more him.
Yeah.
I won't get offended if I'm not on them. Uh, and then you have the second, the three, and the third and the fourth tracks that is more me, but it's on them. You know how to spit on that. And then you have the last song that is more him, but I love those type of songs as well. And I'm like, I'm gonna get on that. So we find a middle ground. It's more like respecting each other boundaries. Listening. It's all about listening to each other. Putting the ideas on the table. That's a great thing. A huge melting pot of ideas. Brainstorming. It takes a lot of meetings. Not just one meeting. We're gonna do something. A lot of meetings.
Yeah.
Talk to your team. That's how I see it. And the business side of it, we all kind of understand the
For
business
sure.
side of it. We all know where we want to go,
Yeah.
and there's no secret in like recipe. There's probably a secret recipe for some artists that they found like that, but for us, we know our recipe. We know how we want to cook our thing, and yeah, that's it. It's just listen, talk, communicate. Communication is
So
the
key, bro. So
number
key.
one thing. If you're not telling how you feel about something and how you want something to sound, I don't know. Like if he doesn't like how a snare sound
How
on
you
the
supposed to
production,
know,
how
bro?
am I
Yeah,
supposed to
exactly.
know? I'm gonna keep using that snare. But Kermis is, yo, Jeff, change the snare. Oh yeah, you think we're gonna go take a round look around the round table and oh shit, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I should change the snare. Oh yo, when you rap like this, nah, nah, you should go like this, nah, nah. And actually, the hook on Friends and Foes, I started the hook, but I wasn't, on pitch for the hook. And then Kermit says, like, yo, I want to do it. I didn't get mad because he wanted to do it. We're two working on that thing. I was like, yeah, go. He started singing the hook. I was like, yo,
And
that's
it
it.
sounds fire, yeah.
Then
It
after
sounds
that, we
fire.
came up to writing the lyrics together. Yo, what you gonna say first? Okay, what you gonna say second? Okay, what we're gonna say together? Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. What's your first verse? Okay, that's it. What's the second verse? Okay, that's it. Let's close the
Fire.
books. Yeah, that's it.
So it's really like a team dynamic. Like you
Yeah,
guys are cooking
just
together.
work.
That's
Plus,
dope.
we were working because of the other project. It's been like a year,
In the
the whole
making.
year we've been working. So it's like
Yeah,
even
so
more than a year. So it's like at a moment there's a
That dynamic, yeah.
yeah, and even on the first tape, like there's shit like he's writing about some shit. We're writing at the same time. We don't know what the fuck we're writing about, but we're talking about the same shit.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about the same shit, but we say similar shit. Like he was talking about Germany, going to Germany. I was talking about going
I
to
remember
Germany.
that,
Like
yeah.
it's random stuff that
yeah.
comes out of like this vibe that gets created in this too.
Yeah.
But other than that, what I wanted to say, I feel like for friends and business, I feel like you need to. There's a deeper layer than that because you need to like separate your friends in a sense. Like there's friends you can do business with. I would say to avoid it. You know what I'm saying? Because it can create a strain in your relationship. Still, that's true. But there's friends that are worth the shot to make business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's some others that you already know. And like I can never like. It's like moving out with your friend.
That's a good
You know what I
comparison,
mean?
actually, yeah.
It's like you're like I know I can never move out with this.
Like you love them, but it won't work.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what
We
I'm
all have
saying? So
friends that we know that I won't be in the same house with you 24 hours. But but it's for real,
he's a
bro.
good example. Yeah.
It's,
I will
it's
kill
like,
him.
I will kill that guy, bro. It's
I'll
fucking.
end up committing murder, dog.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I feel
it's a good
like
comparison.
it's nice. It's nice to when if you're lucky enough to have friends that you can do business with.
Yeah,
I
it's a
know a lot
blessing.
of people that they don't have those friends. You know.
Yeah.
And me, it found a lot of time. If I like, it took a lot of time for me to find those friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And gladly it happened. You know.
Like I started rapping at 20 and I'm now 26. It's like the past 2 years that I've been working with these guys that I've been like,
Yeah.
okay, now I have like people that are tied to
Yeah.
what I'm doing and that understand where I want to go and I understand where they want to go as well. And I'm shout out to them for being here. Shout out to them to understand the vision. Yeah.
It's like business and family too.
Yeah,
Like,
same
I
thing.
ain't-
Even probably worse. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been
Riskier.
able to do that shit, but it's like it's also like I'm not gonna give up on doing that shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Like if everything works out well and I have a little money later, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like I still wanna put my family in positions, you know what I'm saying, to whatever. I
Yeah.
trust them. If I feel like if that's your vision, you know what I'm saying, you try to study people, try to see what you're getting into, you know what I'm saying? It's not always possible, but
Yeah.
you can take some precautions for sure.
Yeah, it's true. I think some people maybe jump into it too soon sometimes because they just get so excited. They're like, yo, like, let's just send it. But it's like, I think to digest it and to really analyze, not in like some weird way, but just in like some like, because some people match better than others in regards to business. And so I think it's not in an offensive way if you're saying you can't live with this friend, like it's just the way it is, right? Same
Yeah.
thing for business. And even back to the music thing, like you can't have too much pride if like the other artist or the sound engineer recording you is like, yo, like you could do better. There's two different ways you could approach that. You could take that as like, yo, thank you for actually taking the time to be honest with me, because I value that so much more than someone to just be like, oh yeah. But it's like, or if someone tells me that, you could get like offended and be all like pissed about it. But it's like, that's just a pride or ego thing.
Yeah.
Right. But if you guys are working on something together, you would think you both want the best outcome. So it's like, if no one's trying to bring you down. It's only trying to like give you that advice for you guys to kind of improve together. Right.
Yeah, and we're working together. So
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think there's some artists that like take things too personal. Like it's not an attack at you as a person or a character. If like I'm telling you like, yo, you could do better on this verse. You know what I mean? Like it's not a personal attack. It's probably the opposite, where it's like, I know your potential and you're better than this, right?
Exactly.
So it's
Yeah.
all a question of perspective too. But yeah, some guys, they get salty for that stuff, but it's like, bro, if you're gonna get salty about that kind of thing, this is probably not the industry for you.
Yeah, you're never. It's like you never stop working towards like being better. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like if somebody tells you it's not good enough, it's like your answer is probably for me is probably most of the time like, yeah, I know it's not good enough, but this is what I do. This is art. You know what I'm saying? Like this is I have to put it out. Like this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? I can't be sitting here all day and being like, yo, I can't say this the best way or whatever. You know, I
Yeah.
tried. You know what I'm saying? I work hard on that shit. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So now let's put it
Yeah.
out and see what people like. Cause some people fucking will
Well,
tell you I love that shit, and you're like, well, I didn't think it was great, but they fucking love that
that's
shit.
just funny.
Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing you can tell them. You can't tell them it's whack. They're gonna be like, what the fuck? You're crazy. You know?
Well, I guess that's what's different about music too. It's so subjective. Well, art in general, but it's so subjective that someone's favorite song could be another person's like least favorite song. You feel
Exactly.
me?
Yeah.
And in a perfect world, like let's say you put out that tape, you kind of hope that not everyone has the favorite song on that tape because that means you appeal to different audiences, right? You pleased different masses. Yeah, I always have that like worry of like, I don't know, like the one hit wonder syndrome or like something like if you put out a project and everyone's like, yo, track 3 is the one, but it's like, oh damn, that's probably not a blessing though. You know what I mean? It's kind of a curse. I always think the objective is to kind of if everyone's telling you they have a different favorite song, it's like the biggest blessing,
Yeah. Exactly.
right? Um, okay, I want to steer it a bit deeper into business if you guys are cool with it, because this is actually something that I want to know about you guys because we've never talked about this. So I'm curious. Um, we're getting into okay, so we're doing music, this, that. Now, in a hypothetical situation where things become real. Now, when I say that, I mean like you pop off or whatever, like the long term, I don't know if this is something you guys think about consciously or subconsciously. If this actually became bigger than it was, meaning hypothetically this tape pops and boom, 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 you're getting reached out left, right, and center of, I don't know, labels, different kind of representation, this and that. I'm curious, you guys, and you could obviously both have different answers, which would probably lead to problems in the future, but what you guys' goals is with this. Now, hypothetically, if you were approached by this, like, is it something that for you would interest you to say, signing to some kind of label, having representation, or do you really love the independent game and you're doing it for the love of music and it's not a route that interests you guys? I'm very curious to learn because we've never talked about this. So you could each take your turn on that.
For myself, I feel like I'm starting something with FE Worldwide and everything. I feel like I could be my own, representation of independence. Uh, I could be my own label. Uh, I feel like yeah, maybe I would need help from a management company, publicity, publishing, or whatever. But at the same time, you know, I would just want to make music, do shows, podcast, being there, talk to people, learn about my music, learn about everything. I don't. My goal is not, oh yeah, let's get signed to Universal or something like that. It's just let's make music, let's present her music to people. And one of my goals is to do a jazz fest.
Oh,
I want to
dope.
do the jazz fest with drums, chorus, everything. So I'm like, yeah.
Do you
So
play instruments, by the way? We never
I
spoke
don't
about
play
this.
instruments at
No?
all, but I understand instruments, but I don't play instruments
Okay.
at all. I'm all on
Yeah,
PC,
digital.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, digital.
Or the new
So
gen.
yeah,
Yeah.
I almost did Jazz Fest. That shit hurt my heart.
Yo,
yeah,
speak closer to the mic, Kermis, especially when you look at him.
Yeah, I almost did Jazz Fest. That shit hurts my heart, bro. Like,
damn. I'm about to
Is it
bring that
COVID
up.
that cut you out?
no, no, no. I mean, because I was playing saxophone in high school. Right? So the last year I was in the jazz group, but the last year of jazz group I switched from guitar. Well, I switched from saxophone
Sax
to
to
guitar
guitar.
because I tried to act like I was Jimi Hendrix and some motherfucking shit. And then I was like, yo, this shit is way too hard. And I was like, yo, can I go back to the sax? And he's like, I already gave your spot to another person. I can't put you there. And they went to the Jazz Fest that year.
So
So I
like the
was like,
spot you switched out of ended up going to Jazz Fest. That's what you're saying?
yeah,
Like the
exactly.
individual that you swapped
That
for.
year, I played 2 years in jazz group.
You played yourself, bro.
I know I did it. You know what I'm saying? Stick to what the fuck you do, okay? If you're good at it, don't fucking do your shit, man. Don't be scared.
Yeah.
But anyways, um, I feel like with this music shit, if it pops up, I feel like pops off. I don't know. I feel like the label route is not my route for now or whatever. I feel like I like to stay independent. And then if a label comes to at a moment where like, yeah, I feel like you have to build your product. You have to be a product before you have a good deal with a label, which is something that's really hard to do. You need a lot of time. But if I'm in that position at a moment, yeah, for sure, I would be open to a label because that's a different type of exposure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a different type of money too. You know what I'm saying? It's a different type of game too.
Yeah.
Get into that. Um, but now me, I would like to use music to do the shit I love. Like I would like to do music, the wine shit, the food shit, have my show. You know what I'm saying? Travel the world, make music, drink wine, eat food.
Yeah.
I'll
That
go to
kind
the
of sounds like
tomb
the life.
happy, man. I'll go to the tomb happy. I'm good. Feed my family.
Yeah.
It's as simple as
Exactly.
that. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Yeah. So in a perfect world, I guess any artist, that's the perfect case scenario that you could like live comfortably from your passion, right? I feel like we could all agree on that. Like that's where I'm at it too now, where it's like I'm down to just like find the perfect middle ground. Because the thing about labels and stuff, and not to bash them, because I'm open minded too. If the day comes where I get approached, I'm open to negotiation, but I'm definitely going into it skeptical and not on some hater thing, but more on I'm really been studying this industry for especially in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, like I'm amazed what's behind the curtain on this whole thing.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
blowing my mind. Some guys, and I won't name drop them obviously because they're actually like they're becoming friends of mine that are in the industry, signed to labels, this and that. You realize like, yo, it is so controlled and fake,
Yeah.
and it's really turning me off. And by the way, you were saying the money thing. The money thing is not really real because the money is there, but it never belongs to the individual you think it belongs to because the money is always going elsewhere to the top man or whoever else is in the team. Um, so I find it's like a bittersweet thing where on one side it gives you opportunities to your point where you would never had before. Let's be real. Like these guys are independent. They won't have access to headlining festivals or to doing these things people dream of doing it because these labels and companies, we should refer them as corporations because that's what they are.
Yeah.
They control these industries, which from a business standpoint only makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't understand how people don't get this. It's like, think of it as a company has suppliers. But in this case, let's say you're Eventco or whoever who's planning a festival. You reach out to your suppliers, who in this case, you're supplying artists. So they have X amount of labels that they trust because they've established a relationship with, they have credibility. So let's say you're the head of X label, right? And I'm planning an event and I'm like, yo, I need artists. I don't know anything about the hip hop game. So I'm gonna go see Jeff at his label. Be like, bro, can you like give me a roster of like guys I could have on my festival? And you'll provide that.
Yeah.
Right. That's how it works. It makes sense from a business standpoint. Now, the independent artist is never going to get booked for these huge festivals because they're not backed up by a trusted corporation or entity
Mm-hmm.
that has that credibility, that has that affiliation,
Yeah.
right? That association, I mean. Now, from a business standpoint, it makes total sense. But what's crazy, the more I study about this industry, is that it's really about manipulating public perception.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of people that are playing at Metro, and I'm not talking about the headliners. I'm not talking about Travis and these guys. They've got to the point where they're above all this. I'm talking about, the middle of the pack, the lower end of the pack. These people, I'm not even bashing anyone on that, but most of them don't actually have a fan base.
But they signed a 360. The people you're talking about.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
'Cause-
by the way, most guys are signing 360s.
I know that's what I'm saying because that's what I meant by if you have a product.
Yeah.
If you have a product and you have a company already and you bring this to the table, it's like, look, this is what I have. You know what I'm saying? So now you can you have leverage to negotiate in a sense to have more exposure, but also that they don't fuck you over economically.
Exactly.
'Cause you're coming here, you're like, I already have this money. You know what I mean?
If you
Like,
have leverage going into it, you're laughing way more.
exactly. If for example, you have the money already to pay back a label, what they're gonna give you as a budget,
Yeah.
that's like it's like a loan. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You go to the bank, pay off your loan right away. It's like
Same difference.
clean. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it depends. If you go into that situation with that, that takes time, and it take not most people, rarely people get to that point. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like if I get to that point, I'll do it. But other than that, the label doesn't make no sense because of what you're saying. I feel like my strength is that my music is real. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? If I lose that, I lose everything. You know what I'm saying?
Which,
It's like,
okay, that's perfect because that's exactly what I'm segueing into is that it's ironic because at the end of the day, being a creator, the point is being creative, right? Now, what I'm seeing from these guys that are under representation, unfortunately, most of them, almost all of them, is that they have no creative control. They lose that when they sign their deal, meaning they can't drop when they want. They can't collab with artists that they want to collab with. They can't do certain genres that the label doesn't approve, certain shows that they want to do. It goes on and on and on forever. If they want to start a podcast, they might not get the green light. There's so many factors it has to run through like 27 people, right? And what's the likelihood that that goes through unless you have leverage like Drake, Travis, like guys that are literally 0.001% of the music
make the
industry.
company fucking,
But
thrive.
there you go. But at the same time, those guys also went through the system. So the companies are still feeding off of them because Drake didn't just become Drake like that. He went through the whole system,
Yeah,
right?
Like when he signed to Young Money, he was already hot. You know, that's why everybody is like he was fucking shopping a deal. That's what I'm saying. When you have that leverage, is like now it makes sense to have a label deal. But I understand artists is that maybe they're not down to take care of the business part or whatever. So it's easier for them to go the label route. I know a lot of artists that should take the label route.
And
They're
yeah,
saying I'm gonna stay independent or whatever, but they should take the label route because they're not. They can't hustle. They don't want to hustle in the independent parts. So it's like it made more sense if you go to the label route. You don't have to take care of this.
exactly.
Well, if you get mad at people, you don't want to fucking talk to people. You don't know how to stay professional. You don't know how to this that. Then hire PR, hire a manager, like to do everything for you. Call
Yeah.
it a day. You don't want to talk. Like that's the best route for you. But other than that, like for me, it's not my situation.
Exactly. Like, not to say, like, I think some artists do need labels straight up. And, like, I mean, it has a lot of blessings to it. Like, I'm really not trying to, like, downplay the importance or value of it. Because at the end of the day, yes, it's still them that control the big Spotify playlist, the festivals, the radio. They still have that. I mean, that's why they exist. So I get it. I do think it depends. It depends on the artist. It's just nowadays we have opportunities that never existed before. We have the opportunity where we can even have this conversation of it being a possibility. Bro, before social media, this was not a conversation.
Yeah.
There was the only way to make a living through music,
Yeah.
right? At least now with TikTok, with this and that, SoundCloud, there's opportunities of getting discovered that don't go through the system. But like you're saying, it's almost inevitable if you do get certain traction, this, that, you're definitely going to get approached to it. Everyone who starts getting hot on TikTok, labels are ringing at them. That's their new scouting. It's just scrolling through TikTok and finding artists, right?
Yeah.
So in a way, it's an absolute blessing that we even have the opportunity to consider both options. Because before our generation, bro, it wasn't even a thing you could, the only way out was to sign in that deal.
Unless you're a fucking Master P or some shit, and you're selling fucking tapes out of your trunk.
Well, yeah, that's even
And
like
it
the most
worked
old
out.
school method
You know what I'm
possible. Yeah.
saying? But it worked out. Like, these niggas made so much money off of tapes, selling them off in trunks, of trunks. And then they went to the label and got, you know what I'm saying? They
Exactly.
created their own label. And I don't even know who No Limit was under before.
I have no clue.
But it's crazy.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like even with NSL, that's why I'm branching out to so many different avenues. Is that so if it does work in any avenue, I have so much leverage. First of all, I have fun doing all this, so I love it. So it doesn't matter. But if one day one lane pops out the other lane, bro, I could approach them. I have a whole brand behind it.
Yeah.
It's not just me making songs.
For sure.
You know, I have a crazy community going of artists. That's leverage. This podcast is leverage. Like there's so much different avenues of the brand, which I find You know, because nowadays, this is my opinion, and you guys could speak on this if you want on your opinions as well. But I think if you really want to make it as an artist nowadays, you need more than just good music. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
You're not making no money off the music, really.
it's your brand. It's you. You know
Exactly.
who you are, what you represent, what you're showing to people. You know, you know, it's like you're Nike and you're trying to sell out your new shoe. Yeah, the shoe is nice, but what comes around the shoe? Oh yeah, you can play basketball, you can play soccer with it. You know that shoe fits when you go to a gala. That shoe fits when you go to the the beach, whatever. You know, it's creating a lifestyle around whatever you're doing. So
Exactly. The power of branding, bro. Like just that literally I'm wearing Nikes right now. The fact that I would pay 200 for this over something that's the same pant without the logo and pay 20, that's branding.
yeah,
Bro, same thing like we were talking about Happy Dad, like all these brands, it's literally just you associating to a lifestyle. You
Yeah.
want to be inclusive in some kind of community, some
Yeah.
kind of you feel like you're part of the gang, part of the family. That's what branding is. You know, so I think nowadays more than ever, like you, Jeffrey, let's say, or Neruda, like if someone likes you, the individual, whether they see you on IG, this, that, and they're like, yo, like I like what this individual represents, stands for, they're way more likely to go check out what you got going on, whether it's music, selling t-shirts, like whatever it is that you're pushing. If they like you as a person, bro, you're set. Do you know what I mean? Once that brand and trust is established, you can go in any direction. That's why you see these guys on TikTok that like they'll start going in branches that you never would have thought of before. Because once you have that leverage, any direction you take, it'll work.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like I was listening to Action Bronson because he's a big inspiration still, and he was saying, "Yo, I don't even make money off the music like that. Like all my money comes from like he does his food show. You know what I'm saying? He goes everywhere. He goes to restaurants. He knows chefs and everything, sommeliers. And that's how he makes like the big part of his money in his career. But we all know Action Bronson from his music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We know a little bit less Action Bronson the chef. You know what I'm saying? But that's how you need to fucking diversify. You know what I'm saying? You need to do it, and if you love it too, you know, it's like me. That's why he's a big inspiration. Like you want to do the food, the wine, the music. You can make money out of all of them, but if the new thing happens and you make more money off of that, then you know what I'm saying. It's just you build
Exactly.
off of the source. Like we said before, you have to come back to the source.
Exactly.
What are you doing this for?
At one point, I'm going to need to actually, we could low key, this would be a good icebreaker to get it back in. I think that's what we're going to do. So I always say, guys, when I have people from my high school or this or that, I always say that I've known these people forever. I have proof today. Now, Jeffrey, I didn't know. I only met, last year?
yeah, last year.
Yeah, last year. But BZ, who's behind the camera, is one of my best friends from high school, Miguel, who I was talking about before. Neruda is a friend from high school, too. I literally have proof, and I want you guys to see this video. I went digging for this. All of you guys, I'll put the thing there. We'll go stand behind
How
it.
the fuck you find it?
Bro, no, that's not a setup. So, okay, remember when we were like 12 years old? It was a trend. Listen. I'm gonna layer it for them on the screen, but remember back in the day when the trend on Facebook was like my status, and then you post like a video of like a TBH. Yo. This is proof that I've known these guys for for 10 years now. Watch this.
And
Okay.
then you have
Oh,
to
yeah.
talk
Watch
about
this.
somebody
D,
else.
D,
and
come
say-
back to it too.
I want to see that.
Oh
That's crazy.
Like my status, and I'm gonna tell you
Yo,
what I.
recognize that.
so
You recognize that room still?
That's my fucking room. Yo. Oh my
Yo, that's
god.
crazy.
Wait, boy.
So this is the TBH they posted on my timeline 10 years ago now.
Ouais, salut ma belle Andrew.
There we go.
J'aime ça passer
belle.
du temps à tes côtés. Je t'aime beaucoup. C'est easy. Ouais, c'est pour ça que je t'aime. En mouton, on s'aime, qu'est-ce que tu veux? Moi aussi, je suis un mouton.
Oh my god. Get the
T'es comme un mouton
fuck
rasé,
with
c'est
this
plus un
bro.
vrai mouton. T'es pas un real sheep, non? T'es pas un vrai sheep.
I'm like, what the fuck is
Ouais,
this nigga
ok.
talking
Ouais,
about?
ouais, ouais, ouais.
I love you, B. Yo, we used to sell those.
Ain't gonna lie.
We used to sell those.
Yo, can we talk? Can we talk about the snapback with the sweatshirt?
Wait, what the fuck's going on with the dolphin?
I have a dolphin. Yo, that shit was sick.
I mean,
I'm laughing at him because I'm like,
that's crazy.
J'aime ça passer du temps à tes côtés. Je t'aime beaucoup.
T'es frisé, tu vois, j'ai rien à
Yo,
dire.
you never changed, dog.
I said that. I said that shit. You didn't say that,
That
shit.
was yesterday, guys. What you don't know, that was yesterday.
Yo, it's funny because like
We
don't
by the way,
change
no.
that much.
By the way, you are a fucking dickhead for showing that. Yeah, but
That's
okay.
crazy.
That's okay.
Hilarious, dog. Yo,
You see, that's how I know I didn't know you because I said you have curly hair. That's the only thing I had to say about you.
But you said I was chill though, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Yo, you're a sheep. You too. You're a
You're
sheep.
not a real sheep.
Yo, come say the story here. They would love it. So, okay, this is how Miguel and I met. We were like 12 or 13, and this is how we met. And we became close.
Basically, the first time that we chilled was on my boy's birthday, and fucking never chill with this dude. This is nothing like, bro. This is okay to say, bro, but we slept in the same bed, bro. We were fucking 12 or fucking.
Yo,
13.
pause.
It was a
Hey,
sleepover.
yo!
My boy, it was a sleepover, bro.
There was no beds
my
left. We shared a bed.
My
That's what
boy, actually, you know what? The whole fucking night we're talking about, like.
No, rewind.
But yo, bro, that was the first time I was fucking chilling
Yeah.
with this dude, bro.
It's crazy.
That's a crazy story.
I've never connected with someone. Yeah, we'll put the dolphin noise for that. But no, but straight up, yeah, like we barely knew each other and we were put in the same bed. And it's funny, we didn't sleep 1 minute that night. I've never got along with someone so quickly. Oh, we had the same sense of humor. We talked about everything. It was actually insane. We stayed up till the morning. It was crazy. And that's how our friendship started, man. So that's why I wanted to show them. Like, you know, this is real. This goes from a decade ago, bro. It's amazing. Okay, so yeah, we're back. That was a nice little icebreaker back. Yo, when I found that, I was like, I have to show them, bro. Back to business. That's amazing. So I think we should we'll talk a bit more about you guys' music since this episode is specifically about your album. So as I said before, the tape will be out by the time that they watch this. I'm curious on a personal level. I want each of your answers again individually. I know it's biased because you guys have individual songs in there and songs as a duo. I would like both of you guys' favorite song on the project and give a little reason why. Either it's because of the inspiration of it or just the way it sounds. I would like that. And the song where you have a music video for, which I don't even know what song it is yet, but why you picked that one for your music video.
Okay. So, which one was your favorite?
My favorite is probably Friends and Foes.
Yeah.
Friends and Foes. I love that song because it's super Montreal. You know, I feel it really feels like East Side, West Side, like both of them coming together and creating this. Like it really sounds like Montreal. I love that shit. For the video, I chose my solo songs. Honestly, I chose my two because I have two solo songs, but they're short, and I'm doing one video with both of them.
Okay, so there's multiple videos for the project.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
There's gonna be a video for Genesis.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's the song Genesis that I did a video for because I thought this song was, meaningful for me. Genesis, we all know what it means, growing back, coming back to the roots, the beginning of something. And I felt like this song meant a lot for me. Just, the first couple bars. I mean, just the song in general, the instrumental in general is perfect for me. But it's not my favorite track. My favorite track would be Viral. Viral because of what the energy. It feels like we're at war.
I
It
agree.
feels like we're going to at their necks, like we're here for something. The way I come with my verse, the way Kermis has come with his verse, super fire, super fire. The hook is catchy. The instrumental, just the horns on that thing is perfect. Yeah, that's my favorite track, but I feel like Genesis is more personal and I wanted to show them that side of me, something that is, Jeffrey. a little bit more Jeffrey. And yeah, so we're shooting his video, my video, and after that we're doing a collab video for the songs that we're both on together.
Amazing.
I also feel like the collab songs are a pretty good like combination of what we try to do, like because we try to stick to our styles. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I feel like I try to stick to what I do, like not switch it too much. So that's why I wanted like the solo tracks. And so on the solo tracks, you have a contrast that is beautiful to me. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense. You know, at the end of the day, like somehow, somewhere. And with the collab songs, I feel like it's a good exclamation point on like everything because there's one track that's more my style. There's one track that is more his style. Like, and we both did great on that. And like, we it's sharing the vibe and knowing how to like be able to say, look, this is probably not something I would do alone, but that's what I like about this. You know,
Yeah.
I'm open to it, and this might bring me to a different path that is actually interesting and might lead me to somewhere.
Yeah.
Which is the whole point of collaborating with someone.
Exactly.
Collabing with someone, it's like I feel like the old Jeffrey would have rapped on, let's say some or unlocked on the album, but the new Jeffrey is more someone that is into catchy things, into setting a point. Not we're not behind standards. Where I think we're actually up to the point that we're like in the standard of like we're making good music. Uh, but everything that comes with the idea of Neruda rapping on my type of beat and me rapping on this type of beat, I feel like we can do everything. We don't forget that we're rappers, that we love hip hop, that hip hop comes with sounds, words, whatever, the elements of everything that comes with hip hop in itself. But yeah, I just feel like I just feel complete rapping on whatever he wants me to rap on, because it's like a challenge, and I love challenge. Him coming like, "Yo, you want to rap on that?" I'm like, "Yeah, give me 5 seconds. Let me think about my flow. Let me think about like my first 2, 3 lines." And then, "Oh, okay, yeah, we're in the studio," and it's like, "Yo, do you hear yourself on that?" Either it's a no, either it's a yes. It's like we spent so many time together, like listening to so many instrumentals, working on so many songs, finding the right melodies, finding the right, riff and everything. So I'm like, yeah. So
What happened with the other song we did? We did a first track at first.
which one?
I'm gonna. I
You guys,
I listened
too
to that
many
track
tracks to
yesterday.
remember,
There's
yeah?
so many, bro. It's like I don't know.
I don't even feel like I feel like we did it at the chalet. or some
Oh,
shit. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No,
And
I
then
know
you
what you're
said-
talking
And
about.
then you said, nah, like not that one. We're not gonna go with that one. But we did a first track.
But actually, my hard drive died, so
So you don't have it?
I don't have it.
Fucking hell.
So
Get a hard drive, niggas.
yeah.
And get a backup hard drive.
get a
I'm doing that now
backup.
too.
Get a back. Yeah.
Get
I have a second hard drive.
and get a fucking backup
Yeah.
to that fucking shit.
I put everything on both now, bro. I'm
Yo,
terrified,
bro. When
bro.
it died, I almost fucking cried. I
Yo.
actually cried a little, but it's okay.
just the top.
just a little
We don't
bit.
have the beats. Like we can't even re-record.
I don't have the drum kit.
You know what's
The
crazy?
whole group chat's crying.
You know what's crazy? I actually quit music. Like, we were talking about quit music before.
When did you quit music?
I quit music for like a year and a half.
Like
2
when?
years.
Like recently?
No, it was like 3 years ago. And then the pandemic hit, and I started going to this dude's crib, and I started recording.
Okay.
That's when I grabbed like, the work ethic. I was bothering him. I was like, bro, I'm coming to your studio. And I knew sometimes he didn't want me to come, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But he's like, okay, whatever. We're gonna play. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful for that shit. And it was fucking pandemic, curfew vibes.
That's
You gotta
actually
wait
how
for
I
it.
met you during pandemic.
Yeah.
When I think about it.
Yeah.
Crazy. Are you okay? You guys haven't known each other that long. You two.
No.
But I've known his brother for a long time.
A longer time.
Yeah, I know him
Longer
because
time,
of my
and then
birthday.
after that we chill all together, and it was like, yeah, my brother does music as
Okay,
well. It's
that's
like, you do
crazy.
music, I do music. Yeah, show
Yeah.
me some stuff. Oh shit, you're pretty fire. And then we
Yeah,
kicked in.
actually, your brother's Loki. That would be a great guest to have as well. Your brother.
That's
He's
my
really dope.
cousin though. That's not my brother.
Oh, it's not your actual brother?
Compadre?
Yeah, it's true. It's your cousin.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
his
yeah,
cousin.
yeah. But
But
you-
I'm talking
no.
about someone else.
My brother used to skate with him.
wow. Now I get it. Yeah. Okay, so the guy was singing on stage with you at your show.
That's his
That's your cousin.
Yeah,
My
yeah, yeah,
cousin.
yeah.
Yeah, I got you. He'd be a dope guest to have too. Even though I don't know him.
Well, holla at him.
Yeah.
He's mad at me, but
He's mad at you?
He's mad at me, but you can
Apologize right
holla
now.
Yeah, apologize.
Joe, I want to apologize. Talk to you later. Love you.
We love you, bro.
We love you. I know. I wish there was a cam just filming Miguel the whole time. It's been hilarious.
It's like some office shit. The office.
Straight up, yeah,
He's
yeah.
like the whole time. He's like,
You okay, so after this project, what I don't know if you have an answer, but what's next for you guys, music wise?
For me, I have a lot of work on shows, singles. Pretty sure he has the same ideas. Work on singles, videos. Build our brand separately. People know who we are together, and they're gonna know each other more with that project. And I feel like working on our stuff and coming back together at a certain point will be
Huge.
something better. But we can always work together. I mean, I'm not gonna stop working with that guy. That's the point of everything of that team. It's like working together. But I feel like what's next is more music, more
Yeah.
fun, more love, more everything,
It's amazing.
more life.
videos, more
Yeah.
music, more shows. That's pretty much what it is.
We should work on some new stuff. That'd be dope.
Yeah,
we
for
have
sure.
another track that's unreleased.
Yeah, we have like 2 or 3.
We have two that
at
we
least.
made, like three, all of us three,
Yeah, yeah.
like all of us, and then
No,
y'all
but
have
you and
one
I have
songs.
like 3 alone.
there's the beat we recorded at Jay's.
Oh yeah. Shout out Jay.
And then what's the
Shout out
third
Jay.
one?
Recorded at his house. At BZ's house. Yep. It was like this
Oh, it's
24K
love-
golden
It's like a love song.
beat. Yeah. No. It wasn't first song. This was less
I
than
know,
a year ago.
Yeah, I know what it is.
We were sponsored by Heineken that night. We were hammered, bro.
Fuck! Remember we're looking at each other like, damn, like yo, we really have to record right now.
I remember
We're
tapping out.
fucking
I was like,
drunk.
guys, like I'm done. I did the
Yeah.
hook and I went to bed. I was like, I
I
can't
was
do it,
like,
bro. It was
bro.
so late. It was so late. I passed out on the couch.
If you see this, never go to Miguel's when
No.
there's alcohol. Okay, never do that.
I actually always go to Miguel's. He's a great host.
You
Yeah.
won't step out of there before 5 a.m. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Alcohol level in your bloodstream, or
Yeah.
Yo, I swear you should start your own podcast. Like the type that like it's just
Yo,
yeah,
for
we
real.
can co-host. He's so
For
funny.
real.
Yo, you have to dap him up. You just let him hang in like that. That's crazy, bro.
This guy, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
But in days.
I hope so, bro.
What is that
Yo,
parentage?
this pod's
Alright,
taking.
see.
Parentage. Like you tase your parents. Parentage.
Okay, yo, this is taking
Yo,
too many
he-
turns. All right, I think we've lost control. I think we should wrap it up.
But
Yeah.
we do like a goodbye salute.
Absolutely. I'll let you handle it. Go ahead, brother. Well, your mic. This guy forgets he has a microphone.
Respect to NSL. We love you, dog. You already know what's
Thank you,
up.
bro. Appreciate you.
Respect, Drew. Respect to everybody that is watching. We love you. Make sure to fucking listen to that album, Friends and Foes by Neruda and Jeffery. Fucking available on everything: Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, in your mom's crib, everywhere. So
Shout
yeah,
out, mama.
And your mama's crib and your baby mama's crib.
Everyone's crib.
auntie's crib,
Neighbor's crib.
So shout out to y'all. Thank you for listening. Shout out to NSL Podcast, Drew, the GOAT.
To the enemies, I hope that all the niggas that robbed you and all the niggas that fucking punch you in your face bump my album all the time.
Exactly.
That was crazy, bro.
Love.
It was so
Stay
peace and
safe.
love, and then
Exactly.
Friends and foes.
shout out to. I want to say thank you to my friends for coming. You guys are amazing. Yeah, thank you to everyone behind the camera, Jay, BZD, obviously Jeffrey, Neruda. This
out.
pod for me is amazing because I get to chill with my homies and just talk. So shout out to these you guys. Check out their album, check out their music. It's bigger than music, man. It's just we're all human, we're all brothers and sisters, wherever you're from in the world. We wish you nothing but the best, no matter what it is. We do music, but whatever you're trying to pursue in life, just follow your heart, stay authentic, and true to yourself. Surround yourself by people that care about you for the right reasons. Keep doing everything that feels right to you. And I think that's the most important thing as humans. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. As per usual, you know me, Drew. You can check our music everywhere. NSL Collective is the movement, the mindset, never stop laughing. That's what it's all about, staying optimistic. So thank you, my brothers.
Louis Slug,
Shout out.
NSL,
Friends and
FU,
foes.
baby.
Friends and foes, baby. Let's go.
Yo, bro,